Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to another video, a little update video for you guys today. If you guys remember, about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, I made a video comparing the Panasonic LX10 to the Canon G7X Mark II. I put the little iCard up here so you guys can click the link if you want to watch that comparison. I put two cameras together on a tripod or a flash bracket stand and walked around and kind of compared the two. And at the time, I made a couple off-the-cuff conclusions. Well, it's been a couple weeks. The 14-day period on the G7X Mark II is up, and it's time to make a decision. Am I keeping the G7X Mark II, or am I going to stick with the LX10? Alright guys, so I've had a couple weeks to work with both these cameras, and I want to go through a couple things kind of off the cuff, so I don't know how this is going to turn out, but a couple things off the cuff to kind of let you know what I've decided, what I've kind of concluded in the 2 weeks I've tested them both, and what I'm going to stick with. The first thing I want to talk to you guys about is autofocus. Both of these cameras are contrast-based autofocus, and to be honest with you, they're both not perfect by any means. The Sony RX100 Mark V is better. It's got phase detect autofocus, does a lot better job, but it's also double the price of these. So with that being said, how do the two compare? The G7X Mark II, when it has focus, it seems to stay there, and if it goes into like a backlit situation where the contrast isn't so good, it doesn't hunt like the Panasonic does. But, and it's a big but, the LX10 seems to acquire focus faster, and a couple times the G7X Mark II got stuck back focusing for some reason on something behind me instead of staying on my face. Even though face recognition was on, it got stuck back focusing. I'm not sure if that's just my camera or a setting or whatever, but I never really found a way to remedy it. So overall, I'm giving kind of reluctantly the check mark to the LX10 with a couple caveats that maybe you have to use manual focus in one of those high contrast situations. Number two, audio. LX10's better. They both suck. LX10 sucks less. That's it. Nothing else to say about that. Three, ergonomics. From a grip standpoint and comfort in hand standpoint as a camera, the G7X wins hands down. It's got a little like thumb spot in the back. If I can show you guys, there's a little thumb spot right here, and then the grip on front looks a lot better, or it's a lot easier to hold on to. From that standpoint, much easier. However, the LX10 has the clickable aperture ring up front, and that's a huge advantage because when I'm trying to change things in video, and this is a big deciding point for me, in video, the LX10 allows me to do a lot more while I'm recording. On the G7X Mark II, you have to either put it in full automatic or in full manual, and before you hit the record button, you have to set your exposure. That means if you're walking out of a dark restaurant in manual exposure into a bright situation, the only way for you to change that exposure value is to tap on the screen, which is flipped up, by the way, behind your dead cat, right? Like you're trying to get behind this thing and touch the screen while you're talking, and then you can change either your aperture or your shutter speed or whatever you want, your ISO value, whatever you want to change at that point. You can't just grab like the front ring and turn it to make your changes. None of that's available while you're recording. You have to either pause the video, reset your exposure, and then go back at it, or use the touchscreen prompts. It's not real easy. The LX10, on the other hand, lets you do either full auto, aperture priority, shutter priority, or full manual. And a lot of times I just shoot an aperture priority, let the shutter run wild, which I know it's against the 180-degree shutter rule, whatever, but it adjusts exposure on its own. And I can change the aperture if I need be right here while I'm on the fly. And these back buttons allow me to do all my changes from scene to scene without having to touch the screen or pause the video. So LX10 gets the big win on that one for ergonomics and ease of use during recording video. Number four is battery life. G7X Mark II. They both aren't great. G7X Mark II, better battery life. Number five, stabilization. G7X Mark II. The LX10s is basically non-existent. They say they have it, but it's not even worth messing around with. I leave it off. Yeah. Five, color science. This is a subjective thing. LX10. I think the Leica lens is sharper. I think the colors that come out of it are punchier, more contrasty. That's the look I like. So I'm actually going to give the LX10 a better vote of confidence in terms of the color representation and that kind of stuff. And then for the two background blur, I think the LX10 provides better bokeh. So I'm going to give that whole color science, aesthetic, bokeh, however you say it, to the LX10. So with that being said, which one am I keeping? And price plays a big factor, because I got this LX10 for, I don't know, $400 or something like that. This guy I bought brand new. It was like $650, or with tax it costs a little more. I'm going to be keeping, regardless of the back focusing issue, or regardless of the focus hunting issues and the stabilization issues, I'm keeping the LX10. I like the colors out of it better. It's cheaper. I like the bokeh better. I like the overall image quality out of it better. It shoots 4K if I want to. It's got 120 frames if I want to use it. I don't use it much, but if I want to, it has it. So this guy is going back to Best Buy today. And yeah, so I wanted to give you guys a quick update. I only have like 5 or 6 subscribers on this channel right now. And for 5 or 6 subscribers, having 125 views already, or whatever the number's up to, that's pretty good. That means you guys are probably interested in it. Want to provide an update video for you guys. I'm taking the LX10, and until a G7X Mark III with phase detection autofocus and some updated high frame rate stuff comes out, or an LX10 with maybe phase detection, that'll never happen. They're doing all contrast based on everything. Or maybe the Sony RX100 stuff comes down, but I still think right now the LX10 is the one to stick with for the price. For vlogging, something you're going to bang around, and that's the way to go. And if you want something a little better, get a camera like I'm recording you on today. Get something with the mic input. That's for like your studio setup. Okay, that's all, guys. Let me know if I made the right decision below. You guys can agree or disagree. Thanks for watching. That's my conclusions. Nothing's perfect yet, but right now it's this guy. Sticking with it. The G7X Mark II is going back. I'll catch you next time. Thanks.